Good morning everybody, I am Sarah with the trains, and today I'm heading off to explore some more of East Anglia, namely Diss and Stowmarket.
Service for Witham, we will be calling at Diss, Ipswich, Manningtree, Colchester and Witham. The next stop will be Diss.
We have made it to Diss. Diss station was opened in 1849 under the Eastern Union Railway. It had originally been proposed by the Ipswich and Bury Railway, which had been incorporated into the Eastern Union Railway in 1847. In 1873 there was sadly an accident at Diss when a goods train and a passenger train collided due to fog, and it left 4 people injured. In 1883 there was a signal box opened here at Diss. At one time another line ran into the station at Diss. Known as either the Skoll Railway or the Friends Farm Railway, this was a 7-mile-long agricultural railway built by William Betts, the owner of Friends Hall Estate, to enable him to export fresh vegetable produce to London by the Great Eastern Main Line. This was closed in 1886 by Thomas W. Gaze, who became the tenant of the estate following the death of William Betts in 1885. The goods yard at Diss was extended twice in the early 20th century, and during World War I, an Army Service Corps depot was sited next to the station. Although the station is still staffed today, historically the staffing numbers were a lot higher. For example, under the station master Robert Gillingwater, who was station master between 1898 and 1915, there were 7 clerks, 2 signalmen, 2 motor drivers, 2 horse shunters, 2 station foremen, an unknown amount of passenger and goods porters, and presumably some horses to go with those horse shunters. In the goods yard here, there was still shunting being done by horses up until about 1959, which is really quite late. I would have expected it all to be done by locos at that point. One interesting thing about Diss is that it's the only station on the Greater Anglia network to only be served by intercity trains. And you thought them using fast light intercity and regional trains was just a coincidence. Now we've had that station history, let's explore what facilities there are here at Diss. We have got 2 lovely long platforms to accommodate those 745s. Up there we've got a footbridge, going to have a little wander over that in a minute. The station sign, of course, as well as departure screens. The good old flappy plastic bins, complete with a sign that says recyclable waste only. As always, we've got the benches and disproportionately small planters for the length of these platforms. As you can see from the overhead wires, this line has been electrified. Works on that started in 1985. We've got a lovely dot matrix clock that tells me it's 10:58. And some undercover cycle parking, next to which is an accessibility ramp, and hiding under the stairs is a grip bin. Going out of the station, there's another flappy plastic bin and a smoking area. I haven't seen a designated smoking area before. Out here is the really quite large car park, as well as the station building, on which is a defibrillator and a sign to take you to the tickets and trains. We also have toilets here at Diss, and one of my favourite signs, as well as a smart card reader and information signs. We also have something I'm always on the lookout for, a Victorian postbox. On the platform there is also a ticket machine. We've also got these signs about places near Diss, such as Over here on platform 2 we've still got a little station building complete with canopy to shelter under and a ticket machine next to a help point and a flappy plastic bin. And a waiting room too. The station building over there contains a waiting room, toilets, ticket office and a little coffee shop. Heading along here we have got a smart card reader and level access out of the station. Now, as much as I do want to go and find out what level access there is at Diss, I've only got a few minutes until my train to Stow Market, so I'm going to have to go up over the footbridge and wait on the platform to get my next train. I found the level access. In the distance there does appear to be a bridge that goes over the road, so you'll have to go on the road under the bridge, but that's quite a bit of a walk. Hi, Future Sarah here. I'm now at Ipswich, but I've just remembered a piece of poetry that I've learnt over the years of living in Norfolk. It goes like this. There once was a young man from Diss who went down to the river to relieve himself and surprise an amphibian. It's not the best piece of poetry in the world, but some people like it.
Welcome to this service for Whittam. We will be calling at Stow Market, Ipswich, Manningtree, Colchester and Whittam. The next stop will be Stow Market.
We have now made it to Stow Market. This station is the junction of the Great Eastern Main Line and the Ipswich to Ely line. It was opened in 1846 under the Ipswich and Bury Railway. The line itself opened on Christmas Eve 1846, so what a nice Christmas present that was for the people in the local area. In 1848 there was a line from Hawley Junction to Norwich Victoria that opened in stages, which meant that in 1849 Stow Market was linked directly to Norwich. In 1854 there was a link constructed between Bury St Edmunds and Cambridge, which meant that Ipswich and Stow Market were then directly linked to Cambridge. In 1880 the link between Chippenham Junction and Snailwell was opened, which meant that Stow Market was then linked directly to Ely and the Midlands. When the station was being constructed, the engineers faced quite a big issue. There's a lot of boggy marshland that they were battling with, and the marshland swallowed up a lot of the materials that they were laying down. Test probes actually showed that the marshland was about 80 feet deep. So they decided to use a solution that had been pioneered by George Stephenson when he crossed Chatham Marsh Bog, and that was to lay down a base of brushwood and bundles of sticks to make the embankment have a firm foundation. The River Gipping was also diverted when this was constructed, meaning that the landscape really was changed in a very literal way by the Victorian railways. Up until 1913, all the shunting at Stow Market was done by horses until a shunting engine was introduced in that year, although some shunting was still being done by horses up until 1958. During the First World War, additional sidings were created here at Stow Market to deal with the increase of explosives traffic, because that's the sort of thing that happens during the war. In the 1920s, the LNER rebuilt the two-track timber goods shed here at Stow Market and also built some industrial units at the south of the station. Stow Market Works signal box was opened to serve this in 1941. However, it only lasted for 16 years, being closed in 1957. Speaking of goods services here at Stow Market ceased in the 1970s, with a Class 3 shunter being used until January 1977. There was, however, an extremely short-lived milk service that originated at Chard Junction over in the West Country, but that only lasted for the summer of 1981. I don't really think milk being transported in the summer is necessarily the best idea, but I'm sure they knew what they were doing. Milk in the summer? Is that anything like cake by the ocean? One thing I'm very fond of at Stow Market is that the Stow Market Down Goods Loop is the home to the East Anglian railhead treatment trains, which run between September and December, clearing the leaves and their gunk from the line. And you get a nice little selection of locomotives. It's usually 66s, but in the past I've been surprised with some 57s and indeed 37s, the best diesel locomotive ever. Oh Jesus, that's some screech. Now we've had a little chat about the history of the station, let's go and see what facilities there are at the station today. We've got two lovely long platforms to accommodate the Class 745s that run on the route from Norwich to London. We've got plenty of station signs, and this one also has a University of Suffolk sign saying change more than your destination. As an alumnus of the University of East Anglia, I'm not sure whether I should be opposed to this sign. Are they our rivals? Who knows? Over there we've got the footbridge, which I will be having a little wander over soon. This isn't the original footbridge. It was installed in 1985 when the line was electrified, because it needed to be taller to go over the lines. The original footbridge from Stow Market is actually now at Weybourne on the North Norfolk Railway, one of my favourite places in the world. We also have benches, planters, a tiny little grip bin, accessibility ramp and flappy plastic bin, ticket machine on the platform, useful information about engineering works, a help point, departure screens, a lovely little dot matrix clock, more bins, no excuse for rubbish, a map of the network. We've got cycle parking. Down this way we have a level access ramp. There's all sorts of works going on, but where does this go? Ooh, I do believe this is the level access between the platforms. And we're going past some little old station buildings. Yep, it takes us to the level crossing, which provides level access between the two platforms. Just make sure you're on the correct side before the barriers go down. Didn't I time that well? I hadn't even checked real-time trains, but we got a lovely shed going through. Oh, brilliant! cannot be a good freight train. Over on the other side of the level crossing, we do have the signal box. Over here we've got the original station buildings. They are in fact grade 2 listed. The buildings here contain the ticket office, some lovely toilets, which I think I'll need to visit before I get my next train, a waiting room and a coffee shop. And over there I spy a post box. Is it historic? We've got another Victorian post box next to the defibrillator. A payphone, but does it work? We have a dial tone, it works. Now over here on platform 2, down there we have got a shop which doubles up as a coffee shop, and toilets, and a help point, and some lovely plants. Now I think we're about to have a non-stopping train coming through because the barriers have gone down and the signal's gone green, but neither of the trains are supposed to be coming through yet. Neither of the stopping trains, that is. Will it be freight or non-stopping passenger? Now I've not got long until the next train I want to catch today, so it's just time for me to say thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you to everybody who likes, comments, subscribes. Special thanks to everybody who donates to me on Ko-fi. All my patrons and channel members, and your names are going to be coming up in a second. I'll see you all next time for another railway adventure. Bye. As always, I really can't thank my patrons and channel members enough. You guys really do keep this channel going. For anybody that wants to become a patron or a channel member or just buy me a coffee on Ko-fi, the links to do so are in the description below.